Afternoon and welcome to this edition of the Disc Connection. Your host today is Genevieve Quinham. Genevieve is a Maxwell Leader consultant and a professional trainer with 20 years of business experience and 15 of community experience. She is also a professional Christian life and mental health coach. She helps individuals and professionals develop their potentials and professional performance through coaching, training, and consultancy. She also helps people develop the right attitude for good mental health and emotional balance on a Christian basis. I would like to welcome Genevieve. She is also a Be Connected expert. Welcome, Genevieve.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you for the introduction. So, welcome everyone to this second edition of our Disco Connection webinar. So, our edition of today, Alicia, is we have an amazing guest with us as we're going to discuss, an uncommon topic because the topic is your customer should not come first. And I'm sure that so many people will be curious to understand why did our customer should not come first? Because most of the time, the 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 standard belief is that our customer should come first. So today we're going to discover why do our customer should not come first. So if our customer doesn't come first, what come first? And this will be exactly what we're going to talk about today, and that will help us to, if I can say, succeed on the marketplace. It is maybe an ingredient that some people know and some other neglect most of the time, but today we're going to discover how this ingredient, this element, is a key when we want to master the marketplace. So today my special guest is Simmone Richards. So I'm going to introduce you to her. She is an amazing lady. I had the privilege, the honor, and the big joy to meet on the Maxwell Leadership Academy. So Simmone embodies a deep faith as a devoted Christian who channels her spiritual calling into an active participation in a various ministry of her church. So she is a pharmacist by profession. So she has seamlessly woven over 23 years of leadership experience into her journey and service and growth. So Simmone is a passionate advocate for personal growth. So she had the uh, DNA of the Maxwell. You know that generally the Maxwell leadership coaches, they have a DNA for personal growth and leadership. So today, as a Maxwell leadership certified team, she is also a disco trainer and a consultant, and all this reflect her commitment to empowering others through an insightful guidance and unwavering support on their personal and professional development path. So today, Simmone Richard will be with us for this webinar, this disc connection webinar, and she will help us understand how can we master the marketplace by these special ingredients. So Simmone is a New Yorker. She lives in New York with her beloved husband Michael, and their partnership is a real testament to love, support, and shared value. So this is really a blessing. So I will display Simmone's Richard contact in the chat for those who will be interested in connecting with her. She is again a disco trainer and a Maxwell Leadership coach, trainer, and speaker. So without further ado, Simmone, welcome, welcome. Uh, we are very excited to meeting you today. Simmone, how are you?
Thank you so much, Genevieve. I am extremely well. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Oh, yes, it's an honor. It's an honor. So today we're gonna start by, our uncommon topic. Our customer should not come first. So I guess many people should be curious to know. So if the customer doesn't come first, who came first? What do you think about that?
Genevieve, that topic is really a play on words. And yes, you are right. It is going to um, evoke curiosity in
Exactly.
your viewers. So the customer should not come first. Very interesting topic.
Mm.
Um, in another sense, though,
Mhm.
we have to know that there are basically two types of customers. We
Mhm.
have the internal customer and the external customer.
Yeah, you're right.
So I believe our topic tonight will be focusing on the internal customer. And for those
Yeah,
of us who are not aware, the internal customer is those that are within the organization, our
exactly.
co-workers, our
Your
team
coworker.
leaders,
Mm-hmm.
our managers. So those are the internal customers. So in a sense, the customer will come first, but it's just not the customer that we are used to,
Yeah,
who
use
are labeled as customers. Yes.
exactly.
Mhm.
Those who make, if I can say, those who who make the business
Right.
with us. Yeah, you're right. We are not always aware that actually we have two kind of customer, right? And most of the time when we talk about customer, we think about those who make the business with us. And I
Mhm.
think that this assessment that said uh, our customer should not come first refer to those who are out of the company.
Right. Those who
And
bring their business to us.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Uh, so we all understand now that the element that come first before our customer are our employee.
That is
So
correct.
exactly. So I just want to show you this image and from Jim Rohn,
Mm-hmm.
and that illustrate what is the cost of a bad employee management. He said one customer well taken care uh, of well taken care of could be more valuable than 10,000 words of advertising. What do you understand by this quote of Jim Rohn?
Well, I believe he's speaking to the external customer in this
Exactly.
instance.
Mhm.
Yes, because whenever a customer comes in, and they have an exceptional experience. I like to in our business we like to call it an experience. We
Mhm.
want to give the customer an unforgettable
Ex-
experience. So
Exactly.
if one customer comes in and has an unforgettable experience, that customer is going to go out and
Mhm.
tell another person, maybe more than one person's, and then the word is going to spread like wildfire, so to speak. So if the customer comes in and has a good experience, they are going to go out and share
Sure.
the news. On
Mm.
the other hand, if the customer has a bad experience, believe me, they're going to go out and do the same thing. But I believe
With
also,
more people generally.
yeah, I believe also, even though he may have been speaking to the external customer, this quotation can also relate to the internal customer, because
Sure.
the internal customer, who is our employees, if our employees are happy,
Mm.
if they feel comfortable within themselves, if they feel as if the organization is looking after their needs, looking out for their good, then you would find that they will produce better service. And so if the internal customer produces better service, then the external customer will have a good experience, and the external customer will go out and share the good news. So it's a cycle. It's a
Exactly.
cycle. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, and you're right, because I ever read a study that say that a satisfied customer can bring out in their company um an average of 6 clients, but uh an unsatisfied customer can make you lose 11
Mm-hmm.
leads or clients. So this is why I say that, yeah, when a customer is not satisfied, he can influence barely more people than people
Mm-hmm.
that he can bring on. And you're right. So I may also ask you to my co-host Alicia, what do you think about that? I mean, we spend a lot of money in advertising, trying
Mm-hmm.
to, yeah, to keep our customer with very big budget in advertising, and all we have to do actually is to take care of them. But this is the point when we talk about how to take care of our customer. We're talking about actually who are taking care of our customer from the company. So, Alicia, do you have something that you can add to this?
Uh, well, right now I find what you guys are sharing very interesting because, as you know, I am just a little new on the business scene. So I am more learning on the learning side, and I appreciate all the information that you guys are sharing. So right now, to be honest, I'm like more like I think I'm in the learning.
All right. Alisa, you're soaking it all up.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. I know that we are with an expert, with and Simon is an expert. I'm telling you, in the field of the customer expert, because I really love, and it's remind me very good memories when you talks about experience, because actually uh, some people today are thriving in being customer experience expert.
Hmm.
Yeah, customer experience expert. And this brings us back to our topic.
Mhm.
If a customer has to be taken care in a company, the people who take care of our customer in the company are actually the one who has uh, the direct impact on our customer, who, if I can say it, um, they have the the image of the company in their hands. So, Simon, what do you think about this? Because when I just saw this quote, I actually think about our topic, because our topic is talking about our customers should not come first, and this quote shows us that in most of the general thinking belief, our customers should come first. We spend a lot of money to trying to keep our customer,
Mhm.
and actually we neglect the point that is really important in this process of taking care of our customer.
Yes, Genevieve, you are so right. You are so right. Yes, remember that whenever our clients come
Mhm.
in,
Mm-hmm.
the first person that they interact with would be your employees, especially if you are
Exactly.
in the service industry,
Exactly.
right?
Mm,
Your employees are the face of your business,
exactly.
so that first impression is very important, and not only a face to face interaction, but also the interaction over the phones,
Yeah.
whenever someone calls in, what is the reception like? And
Mm-hmm.
that will also influence the customers, whether they will come back
Mm-hmm.
or whether they will come in or whether they will leave with a sour taste in their mouth. So it's very important that our employees are taken care of, that they are satisfied, because they are the face of the business. They are the face of the organization. They are
Exactly.
sometimes the first person that the customer would interact with. So
Exactly.
it's very important. Mhm.
Very, very important. You're right. And yeah, we have this dimension of interaction, communication, and but we also have, this, if I can say, this invisible energy that an employee can drive in front of our customers. I mean, the joy, the energy, the enthusiasm that you can see an employee having in front of a client can show, and yeah, can show through a client that he is in a safe place, he's in good hands. We know that when you come in a company for any kind of services of good, the first impression, as you say, the face of the company, you see the employee in front of you will communicate, a verbal and a non-verbal message, and this is so important. So let's share this quote of Simon Sinek. He said, he is actually the one who say that our customer should not come first. So it
Mhm.
is very controversial, but we can now understand it as expert, right? So Simon, what do you uh, understand, and how this the title of the webinar of today resonate to you first when you see the title, your customer should not come first? How did it resonate with you first as a professional?
I was like, hmm.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see.
And that's good. It,
Yeah,
it it got my attention, and that's what you want. You want to get people's attention so you could draw them
exactly,
into the conversation. But I
exactly,
rather like this quote, happy employees ensure happy customers, and
exactly.
happy customers ensure happy shareholders, in that
Yeah,
order.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
I am a proponent of growth, and so I I have a team of people that I lead. I like to call them team members. We refer to ourselves as
Uh-huh,
a team,
uh-huh.
and I like to consider them as team members.
Yeah.
And I am always encouraging them, you know, about growing and setting goals and trying to achieve more, because
Mm,
I have a growth mindset.
mm-hmm.
And so if we are a team, it it would be me looking out for their interest, because we're working together as a team. And so, Genevieve, when you invited me to this webinar and
Mm-hmm.
you told me the topic and you
Mm-hmm.
told me the objective that you had in mind, I thought that
Mm-hmm.
it was like a divine coincidence, because for
Oh.
my team,
Mm-hmm.
yes, maybe a few weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
we had a growth and development seminar. And that's one of the things that we do. We have intentional training sessions, because I believe that if the employees are happy,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we have customer service training, where we train them to take care of the customers and so on. But I believe that if the employee is happy, if the employee is self-aware,
Mm-hmm.
then it will be easy for that to transfer to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a self-development seminar,
Mm-hmm.
And going into that seminar, I had all of them taking the Maxwell DISC assessment profile.
Okay.
And also, I took that assessment myself, right? Because as John Maxwell says, the first person we must examine is ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we are going to help others to grow, then we have to know ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
have to be self-aware in order to
Exactly.
help others, right?
Exactly.
So I took the assessment and it revealed a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
I saw where this assessment and the knowledge that I gained could propel me further, you know, into growing and accomplishing more. And like I said, because we're a team and I want the best for my team, I thought that
Mm-hmm.
this was something that I would want them to do as well. And
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, so each person did their assessment and
Mm-hmm.
then we went into the seminar to discuss aspects of the assessment and
Mm-hmm.
how it would help us to grow. But not only that,
Mm-hmm.
I learned some of these persons, I've been working with them for over 7 years, over 10 years, and I learned things about them that I never knew before.
Mm.
And what this did was that it fostered better communication.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, and that really helps with the team, communication with the team, communication with the customers,
Mm-hmm.
uh communication in terms of sharing the vision,
Mm-hmm.
and communication in terms of meeting our goals and objectives. So it was a really we had a really great outcome.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is amazing, and it's totally come in accordance of what we just saw in this image of what Simon Sinek said. Happy employees ensure happy customers, and happy customers ensure happy shareholders in that order. And it's very important to say it in that order because I think that maybe people can understand what you just say. But my question after your testimony, Simon, would be, what was your motivation when you decided to organize this self-development seminar? What was the goal?
Like I said, we always in the past had training sessions for the group
Mm-hmm.
because I believe that training is important.
Sure.
Even if you're skilled in a certain area, if you have a gift or a talent, you really need to hone that talent, to sharpen
Exactly.
your skills. Yes.
Mm.
And so we have this team and we're offering a service. I believe that training is necessary so that we can be on the same page, so that people know what is expected, and
Mm-hmm.
we have a standard of care that we provide. So we
Mm-hmm.
always have training sessions. But I have come to realize that, like I said before, it's important to first examine ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
get to know ourselves. If I know myself, then I am better able to serve someone or assist someone. If I know the various personality types that there are and how people interact, then I'm able to have a more informed interaction with them, you know?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
if I know, for example, I'm going to use an example of the Maxwell disc where you have the
Mm-hmm.
4 personality types, where you have the dominant, the
Mm-hmm.
influencer, the
Mm-hmm.
steady, the compliant. And
Exactly.
we know that the dominant person is direct and
Mm-hmm.
decisive,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe what we may call to the point. So
Yeah.
sometimes we meet people who are like that. They're just direct and to the point, and
Yep.
it may come off as being rude, you know but if I am aware of this personality type, then I will not take this person's response
Mm-hmm.
personally or be offended.
Mm-hmm.
So, having done the assessment myself,
Mm-hmm.
right, and having gone through all the training, and it was eye opening for me. Like I said, I want the best for my team, and I saw where this tool could be beneficial for them within the organization. The first customer, the internal customer, if they understood each other and were aware of the different personality types, then it would foster a better working relationship, a better working environment, because you would have an understanding about personality types and how people are, how you communicate, in order to have effective communication and that sort of thing. So that is what motivated me, to
Exactly.
have them do this assessment.
Yeah, and you know what you said is very important. What DISC can, how DISC can intervene in many ways in a company, because actually this self development seminar you have, you actually work on two major pillar in your activity. The one which is the internal customer, just like you call it, because the internal customer also are important, because the better employees communicate
Mm-hmm.
between them, the better they can communicate with people outside,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that they have to be supportive to one another. This is the
Mm-hmm.
principle of the internal customer relationship. The internal customer relationship needs, a perfect support. The employee has to be accountable and very supportive, because they know that their works has an impact on the outcome, the result of my colleagues, of my coworkers. And this it's a kind of a ripple effect that will impact the external customer. So you have this seminar that helps your employee know one another better, communicate better, foster and improve your relationship and interaction, and this has an impact on your external um, customers. So this is actually the effect that we have. And also what I can see is that I guess that all the companies, just like Alicia just said, she said, I think more companies should be doing personal development, for sure. And we know that all those who lack of having this kind of personal development thing, they can feel it in the everyday management and leadership, because they don't have the same team bound, the team effect, the team building that they expected. And I mean, one of the goal is to build this happy employee, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I have this image that say that how to make a happy employee is that, for sure, they want to be paid well. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
see well my
Absolutely.
yeah if you see well my screen. So
Mm-hmm.
for sure they want to be paid well, because this is
Mm-hmm.
why we leave our house and families to go out. So the second point is that they want to be mentored.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an important point. Most of the time, some employees, you see, for example, if you have a high C personality employee, and you lack this point of mentorship, you may not see the best result from this employee,
Mm-hmm.
because the fact that you mentored someone means that you give the maximum of information to this person to give the best of herself. And this is one of the major need of the high wired C personality. right? And in some companies, you will have some employee that will just, stay like this, cross their arm, and be like a little bit detached because actually they are gathering information, they are trying to get in the system, and instead of wasting this time, this employee will maybe require mentorship because this is their personality. They need to have information, they need to process this information to be able to engage in something, right?
Mhm.
So some other wants to be challenged, maybe those are the D personality. They like to
Mhm.
be challenged,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And some of them, maybe you will have some employee that you will say, oh, I don't know what, but they are not really engaged. They are a little bit, I don't know, they are in the, but in fact, they need this challenge. They need to be challenged because this is their personal. This is where you will see their best version. So for sure, everybody wants to be promoted. I guess promoted means to be the, the
I
fair
think that would
reward.
indicate growth to promotion.
Exactly, indicate
Mhm.
growth and the fair reward of their efforts. And
Mhm.
they want to be involved. Yes, this is also important as a team member, just like you do it, Simon. So
Mhm.
your employee may feel involved because you make them feel involved, bringing this team mentality. They want to be appreciated, and
Absolutely.
this is one of the point uh, that will bring us back to the disc again. How can you appreciate an employee when you don't know uh, the challenge or the personality? How when you cannot guess the whole potential of this employee?
And Genevieve, some persons thrive on being appreciated.
Hmm.
But I just wanted to ask though, before going further, I'm not sure if in a previous webinar, I'm wondering if our audience, if they are familiar with the Maxwell DISC assessment tool and the various components.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
Coach Alicia has already taken her,
oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
her
good,
disc
good, good.
assessment.
All right. Yes. So, just simply, saying that you appreciate them and what they do. Of course, appreciation can be showed in various ways, but sometimes
Exactly,
just simply saying it, just letting
exactly.
them know that you appreciate them. Appreciate them, you appreciate what they do, you appreciate their contribution to the team.
Yep.
Yes, sometimes it's just simply that acknowledging their efforts. It helps.
Yeah, it helps a lot. And Coach Alicia, what do you think about how disc can help you appreciate people around you?
I think that from the assessment that I took of DISC and learning a little bit more about myself, definitely when I look at when I worked in an organization, if that was there, something that like that to assess and
Mm,
let us know, like I think it helps us to work better as a team because then I would know like this is my style of how I like doing it. And I feel like it's almost like a puzzle because we're not all the same. And
mm,
understanding each other and how we work, like I may be want to bring like, the creative part, and then another person may want to be the person that likes to organize, and then
exactly,
having that come together instead of everybody is doing organizing, but some of us it's not our thing. So we're not
exactly.
bringing the full potential. So I
Mm,
Mhm.
think that having something like this inside an organization to help us all understand where we fit in the puzzle could
yeah.
definitely be an asset for sure.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. An
Yeah,
asset that
absolutely.
can help us appreciate people for really what they, because some people doesn't feel appreciated, and sometimes they, people just don't see them, if I can say, like, because there some employee can be, in especially in the big company, they are not seen because they kind of they, they they don't display something, that looks like valuable for others, and after a certain period of time they get discouraged, like, well, I'm just here to make money. And
Mm-hmm.
if you could appreciate those person, just like Coach Elisa just said, like, some of them are kind of creative, some others have they don't talk a lot, but they are doers, you know.
Right.
Some other are the sunshine, they may be always late in their in their work, but they are the people who can bring the other together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And appreciate each one of them for they true potential assets, and personality is definitely something that can help uh, when we want to make happy employee, like, well, they want to be trusted, and when you when you accumulated the mistake, for sure people won't trust you. But uh, and sometimes some employee are frustrated, just like Alicia said it, because they are asking for things that are not their main, if I can say, they are not worried like that. I mean, I
Right.
was in a yeah, I was in a company, and we had um a new customer representative, and I was observing this lady the whole week, the whole first week she started, and I was like, why do we put this lady here? She was like a math teacher. I'm sorry, I don't have anything against the math teacher, but like, she was just like a math teacher, in front of the customer, because she had a very serious face, and then she had a hard time, joking and smiling to people. And at the end of the day, she was never happy. When we had the meeting, the weekly meeting, she was like only bringing bad contribution, like, there are too many people coming at the same time, we have to regulate the number of customer coming to my place, because I was, and it was the first time we heard this, because we were all customer representative and we were good with what happened. And I heard my the boss that we had in this department say, uh, all right, so I've taken good note of what you said, and we'll see the next week. And the next week, she was not there, and she was in an office with some, the people. She was somewhere where she was not able to have the flow of customer, and she was working very well.
Yeah.
I came and find her in this office, and she was like smiling. I was like, you know how to smile, girl, you know?
See,
Because, yeah, she was impressed when she was in the big showroom, with people coming and getting out. And it was not her place, because that was not where she could,
mhm.
share her potential.
And that's where a personality assessment would have come in handy, because
Exactly.
then it would have identified her personality type,
Exactly.
and her strong areas. And
Hmm.
so she would have been assigned according to her strengths,
Exactly.
according to her personality type. So yeah,
Exactly.
the assessment tool is it's a very very valuable tool,
Yep.
and it's I'd like to think of it as being multi-pronged.
Hmm.
It can be used to develop so many areas. I
Hmm.
believe communication is also one of those areas,
Yep.
because if I may briefly share an experience that I had when I did the assessment with my team. you know I have some team members that are very outgoing and others that are more reserved. And like I said, it was really an eye opener for me, because one member that I thought was so outgoing, displayed such like an influencer style. And
Mm-hmm.
when I did the assessment, there was no I. And I was like, where is the I?
You're right. Where's the I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where's the I? Because I'm seeing an I. But then when we did the debrief, I was blown away. The person
Wow.
was not an I. That person preferred to, that person was an SC. I'm an SC, a
Wow.
peacemaker. Yes.
Wow.
But then it opened my eyes to, when I looked back and saw certain responses, like
Mm-hmm.
if we had interaction, I was communicating with that person based on the personality that I thought was present.
Exactly.
And I would observe, sometimes a kind of shutting down. And I'm thinking, but why, where is that behavior coming from? Because I'm not expecting that kind of behavior from that
Mm-hmm.
outgoing,
Oh,
exuberant. But
exactly.
then after we did the assessment, I was like, oh, I have to apologize, and I promise you that going forward, our communication will be different. So now I have a clearer understanding of how to communicate. And
Mm,
also, this assessment tool is really spot on, because
mm,
it talks about our personality being developed from being hereditary, one from our
mhm,
experiences,
mhm,
and negative, or experiences and our influences.
mm,
And one of the things was, based on our experiences before age 8, I think,
mhm,
and especially the negative ones. And if you have a negative experience,
mm,
you try to avoid, you know, experiencing those emotions and that feeling
mhm,
again.
mm,
And that came out in one of my debriefs, because what happened was, this person grew up with, like criticisms and so on.
mm,
So as an adult, if you if he feels as if the person feels as if criticism is coming, they
exactly.
just pull back
Mhm,
and shut down, because it
exactly.
just takes them right back to that age as a
To that age.
child, when
Exactly.
they had those experiences. And that's an experience that they really do not want to relive. So I
Mm,
can say that this tool is very effective,
yep.
very, very effective.
Yeah.
And if you want to grow your team, right? If you want to
Yep.
grow your team, if you want your team to be motivated, like you
Mhm,
have in that slide, if you want to
yep.
build trust,
Exactly.
if you want to empower your team, if
Yep.
you want them to feel valued and appreciated and
Right.
mentored, you know,
Exactly.
this
Yeah.
is a tool to utilize.
Yep. And you're definitely right, Simon. And I really want to become a more active advocate, to help people and especially organization know more about the disc tool, because actually I'm sure they are missing a lot of things. And when I see how we are using it in a corporate with and the result we have with the employee, I'm quite tempted to think that maybe the smaller community, just like families and community, church community, can also use this tool, to help really improve interaction, communication, and relationship. And yeah, this is really a powerful tool. So I would like to share. So just as we on the end. So this image of what how a motivated collaborator, employee, co-workers, what motivation can really drive in a company to help you really become and master this point of happy employees. So these are the motivation factors, like responsibilities, job satisfaction, growth, achievement, recognition, advancement. All these things can really foster motivation that will help the employee really give the best of themselves. So, what can be the last word um, for this time? And just to wrap up and say, our customer should not come first, right? Because at least if we have to talk in terms of customer, the internal customer has to come first, and just after that, or maybe the employee come first and then the internal customer, and just after that, in this order, we can have the external customer. So Simone, can you share a last word for
Absolutely.
yeah, for people?
Absolutely. The internal customer comes first. The employees come first. Because
Exactly.
if you have happy employees, if you have employees that are motivated, that feel appreciated, employees that are empowered, employees that have a growth mindset, if you have employees that are satisfied, maybe not 100% satisfied, but satisfied employees who feel as if they have value in the organization,
Mm,
then they in turn will reciprocate to the external customer, and that will help to grow the business. So the most important thing, first of all, before anything else, we have to take care of the employees, the internal customers. It's just like having your family
mm,
and having to go out to work.
mm.
You take care of your family, because if
Exactly.
when you take care of your family, then your family takes care of you.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that it's a similar thing. Take care of your family and your family takes care of you. So if you take care of your employees, then your employees in turn will take care of the business, will
Of
take
the business.
care of the customer. Mhm.
Exactly, exactly. This is exactly the order, as Simon Sinek said, this is the order, the true and the good order of how we have to do things. Take care of our families, who takes care of us, and take care of our employee, who will take care of the business. So I
Mhm.
will invite all those who will watch this webinar uh, later to really come back on the part where the coach Simon was sharing her experience in this self-development seminar, and all the eye opener it has been for her to discover, if I can say, the real personality, the true face of her employee, and how this was a game changing,
Mhm.
right, information.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it make things really easier for any team leader to know exactly how to leverage their communication and relationship with their employee.
And
And
might I add briefly, Genevieve, not
Mhm.
only between the team leader and the employees, but also between the employees themselves.
Exactly.
They understand each other,
Hmm.
and they're like, wow, okay, I did not know. So now that I know, this is what I will do, and so on. So it builds a kind of cohesion with the team, and that's what you want. You want a
Exactly.
team that's, working together.
And
Yeah.
if I might add something,
Sure.
I've been reading this book, The E-Myth Revisited, and
Mhm.
listening to you both, it just reminds me a lot about how the author of this book talks about, like, you want your business to be able to almost not almost, but actually carry itself. And
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
the way when you talk about how, taking care of the employees, it just reminds me of that book, in terms of, if the employees are happy, literally, as the owner of the company, you don't really have to be there as much, because you've done
Exactly.
everything for your employees, to make sure that they are doing the things they need to do for the business, so you don't have to be so
Exactly.
concerned about how it is. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for this adding. So we're gonna wrap up by this. Take
Mm-hmm.
care of your employee. Be able to understand your employee, right? To inspire them, just like Simon said. Really to communicate with them. Help them to involve in the company, understanding and, if I can say it, owning the company's vision to feel like
Mm-hmm.
they are involved. Sometimes a challenge your employee, just to show them that you trust their potential, show them that they can go further what they just used to have, because some people get bored very quick if they are not
Mm-hmm.
challenged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to encourage. So I think that we heard the type of team manager like Simone, who is an SC, right? So there are
Mm-hmm.
people, and
Excellent.
like Alicia too. Alicia has
I'm a
uh,
SI.
yes, Alicia is a
Oh.
SI, right? So she is also wired S. So they are people who really value the team spirit, right? So set an example, develop, coach, mentor your employee, praise them sometimes, to
Mm-hmm.
encourage them, to show, to feel, to let them feel valued, right?
Yes.
And provide the just reward, sure, so that we won't have the business owner getting a little bit upset. Yep, a fair reward, but it is important to be promoted and to be rewarded too. So we are now at the end of our webinar. Simon, I will maybe please ask you to share in the chat your email, as I cannot take it from the message I
Okay.
received. Yeah, and
Sure,
I
no
will,
problem.
yeah, share it to people who are interested. So whoever is interested to be in contact with the coach, uh, Simmone Richard, can reach out to us on the platform Be Connect, and we will be glad to share with you her information. So that was our second episode of Disconnection. I hope that this will be insightful and will help you really promote a happy employee and own the business market. So thank you, Coach Simmone Richard, for your insightful uh, information and teaching tonight. And thank you, Alicia, also for your co-hosting, right?
Thank
And
you,
see you
Genevieve, for
soon.
having
Yes.
me. Thank you, Alicia. It was my pleasure.
Mine as well. Thank you, ladies. It was great.
Yes.
I learned a lot, and hopefully we get to do this again sometime. It's really
Sure,
good.
Absolutely.
sure, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you.